It's a frigid Wednesday night in Amherst, Massachusetts, 35 degrees, light wind off the Connecticut River, and two desperate programs meet under the lights. Northern Illinois, 2-7, UMass, 0-9. Someone finally leaves with a pulse. Let's start with Northern Illinois. Quarterback Josh Holst leads the Huskies with 689 yards passing, 4 touchdowns, and 3 interceptions on the year. He's mobile enough to escape, but his completion rate sits near 56%, and his offense averages just 265 total yards per game, ranking near the bottom of the FBS. When Holst struggles, backup Bruce Davidson steps in. 269 yards, 1 touchdown, 3 interceptions, but the result rarely changes. The heartbeat of this team is on the ground. Telly Johnson Jr., 601 yards, 3 TDs, and Siobhan Wright, 512 yards, 2 TDs. They're the reason NIU can stay in games despite one of the nation's least efficient passing attacks. Now across the field to UMass. Quarterback A.J. Hairston has thrown for 866 yards, 4 touchdowns, and 4 interceptions while completing 57% of his passes. He's been pressured constantly behind a thin offensive line, and that pressure has turned every drive into survival. His safety valve is running back Brandon Hood, who delivered a 179-yard breakout against Buffalo before being stuffed for 7 yards last week versus Akron. The Minutemen have lost 13 straight and are still searching for their first FBS win since 2023. The betting public has already made its choice. 99% of the money on Northern Illinois and 82% on the over 43.5, but the line quietly slid from negative 13.5 to negative 10.5. That's reverse steam, a red flag. Both offenses average under 17 points per game. NIU's defense can handle the run. UMass's offense collapses in passing situations, and the forecast calls for 30-degree air and a frozen field. That's not scoring weather, that's survival weather. So the system fires the cleanest edge on the board. And today's AI pick is under 43.5 total points. Cold air, slow tempo, 2 struggling quarterbacks, and a market trap waiting to burn the public. Will we cash, or will we burn? On to Game 2.
Midweek action in Oxford, Ohio. The Toledo Rockets at the Miami Redhawks, both 5-4, both fighting for bowl position, but only one can walk out with control of its own season. Let's start with Toledo. Quarterback Tucker Gleason has quietly become one of the MAC's most efficient passers. 2,030 yards, 15 touchdowns, 5 interceptions, and a completion rate right at 67%. His comfort in the pocket has turned short reads into long drives. Behind him, Chip Trianum powers a balanced ground game with 637 yards and 8 scores, while Junior Vanderos III stretches the field at 705 yards and 9 touchdowns on 58 receptions. The Rockets average 32.9 points per game, ranking 34th nationally, and their defense matches that punch. Just 14.6 points allowed per game, 9th in the FBS. Now to Miami, OH. Quarterback Dequan Finn gives the Redhawks dual threat ability, 1,451 passing yards, 9 touchdowns, 6 interceptions, plus about 395 rushing yards. He's electric outside the pocket, but inconsistent through the air. Running back Jordan Brunson has added 444 yards on the ground, and receiver Cam Perry leads the team with 657 yards and 4 touchdowns. Miami scores 25.6 points per game and allows 21.7, leaning on a defense that bends but rarely breaks. So where does the edge live? Toledo's defense ranks top 10 nationally in both scoring and run prevention, giving up fewer than 100 rushing yards per game. Miami depends on its run game for rhythm, and that's where this matchup tilts. Gleason's efficiency and Toledo's front 7 discipline form the cleanest symmetry in the MAC. A team that moves the ball and denies it just as well. Add motivation. The Rockets can clinch bowl eligibility tonight, and the board sharpens. The line opened -2.5 and pushed to -3.5, even as the public piled on Toledo. But the move held firm, a sign of respect, not bait. The Redhawks' one-dimensional offense meets the conference's most complete defense, and that usually ends one way. And today's AI pick is Toledo minus 3.5. The Rockets end their road skid, cover the number, and punch their postseason ticket. Will we cash or will we burn? On to Game 3.
Midweek Maction rolls north to Mount Pleasant, Michigan, where the air bites at 39 degrees and every yard feels earned. Buffalo versus Central Michigan. Two teams sitting at 5-4, each a win away from bowl eligibility, each staring across the line at their own reflection. Let's start with Buffalo. Quarterback Taquan Robertson has been efficient, not flashy, a 73.8 performance grade, managing tempo and protecting the football. He leads an offense that leans on its ground game, driven by Aljae Henderson, who's coming off a 119-yard performance against Bowling Green. Henderson runs angry, and his offensive line, graded 68.4, has found rhythm late in the season. The quiet story is the defense. 31 sacks this year, the most in the MAC and 6th nationally. 14 different Bulls have registered at least one. Linebacker Red Murdoch and edge rusher Junior Poyser lead with 4.5 apiece, and they'll be hunting again tonight. Now, Central Michigan. Quarterback Joe Labus carries a 78.2 grade and poise in the pocket. His offense, though, is built around the run. 72% of plays come on the ground. Nadri Biggins and Decorian Temple have been solid, but this line has struggled, posting a 58.7 offensive line grade, the lowest in the conference. They've been great at home, 4-0 in Mount Pleasant, but their identity is predictable. Run first, run again, and hope the defense holds. The market opened with Central Michigan favored by 3.5, but the number collapsed to 1.5 even as 97% of the money flooded toward the Chippewas. That's not stability. That's reverse steam, the hidden hand of sharp money. Add in cold weather, two run-heavy teams, and a Buffalo defense that thrives on chaos, and the edge tilts toward the road dog. So tonight, the system takes the sharper side, and today's AI pick is Buffalo plus 1.5. Buffalo's pass rush keeps this game ugly, close, and ultimately theirs to steal late. Projected final, Buffalo 23, Central Michigan 20. Will we cash or will we burn? On to the recap with Lilith.
The fire burns low tonight, and the numbers are in. 3 games, 3 battles across the cold November MAC. Let's see where the system drew its lines in the snow. Game 1, Northern Illinois versus UMass. Krista opened the night with the prophecy of silence, a game of missed chances and frozen breath. The AI pick, under 43.5 total points. Low tempo, 2 offenses gasping for air, the fire dimmed early. Game 2, Toledo versus Miami, Ohio. Abaddon followed sharp and deliberate. He called the line move truth, not bait. The AI pick, Toledo, minus 3.5. The Rockets, armed with the MAC's best defense, aimed straight at bowl season. Precision over panic, fire turned to form. Game 3, Buffalo versus Central Michigan. Then Hada whispered through the smoke. The crowd screamed Central Michigan, but the line slipped backward. Reverse steam, the mark of sharp resistance. The AI pick, Buffalo plus 1.5. The Bulls' pass rush turns noise into numbers, and numbers into wins, so that's where the board stands. 3 games, 3 signals, under 43.5. Toledo minus 3.5. Buffalo plus 1.5. En español, bajo 43.5. Toledo menos 3.5. Y Búfalo más 1.5. 3 fuegos, 3 caminos. El sistema habló y la nieve respondió. Like and subscribe. Will we cash? Or will we burn? Kane Foyer on a price. No fire without a price.